Hello, Sarah here. So I'm going to come on and talk about the feather smudger and just a small little rundown about the feather smudger. So in 2024, I decided to make this fella, and it went on to different feather smudgers and different types. And then I started realizing that when I was thinking about the person, connecting to their energy, I was intuitively picking up on their energy and intuitively guided to pick a certain stick or certain feathers. Now, the sticks all come from the land, so anything that's discarded from the trees I use. I don't cut down the trees. Anything that's discarded from the birds, I'll pick up feathers, I'll cleanse and clear them, and they'll go through a disinfection and everything. So I'll use what's discarded from the bird because that's a gift in itself. We can look and see that this is rubbish sometimes, but it's actually not. It's a gift. And I started making these out of bits of wood that I found around and bits of feathers. And then it just became way more. So I do say to people, if it breaks, send it back. I will fix it. And okay, I'll get into it. So what I like to use this feather smudger for is if I'm going through a bit of emotion and I'm releasing a bit of an emotion, or I've just released a heavy emotion, you can wipe it off the auric field. Now that's how I was taught. You clear it off the auric field. But what I feel this does, it breaks up heavy dense energy and it brushes it. It gets rid of, as I was taught, it was the residue, but it's when someone has an emotion, it comes back out, it comes out to the auric field, and it needs to be cleared away so it doesn't absorb back into the body. So I use mine. This is how I use mine. In if I'm working and I'm clearing some throat, just say throat or heart, um, I use it like a cotton candy stick, where I'll pull the energy out, and then I'll wrap it up in my feather smudger and clear it away. And then I'll whack it down like that when I'm finished to clear it off the feathers. And obviously I clear and cleanse this all the time, because you can't just go around picking up energy and expect it to work all the time and not to have some residue from other people. So another way I like to do when I'm finished with the client, and if it was a heavy session or if there was a lot of stuff go on and I felt like I picked up something, which I don't normally, but sometimes when you're in the room with energy, the energy will come into your auric field whether you like it or not. You can have a strong auric field, but you're rubbing up against that energy. So what I like to do is over the head, down each side, down the front, down the back, under each leg, and clear it. Perfect. And sometimes, you see people with fans, if you're around a heavy energy, fanning it away from is really helpful as well. So I hope that has helped. And maintenance, I like to put mine into a bag. This bag was gifted to me. So what I do is I spray, or I'll use smoke to cleanse my tool, and then I pop it into the bag, and then I'll push it out a small bit and just tie the bag. So my feather smudger is kept. Now I have that since 2024, so it's held up really well. I've travelled with it, and I really like it. Now I was doing like the odd one where they were in boxes, but I feel like it's personal to each person, and I do like to have that on my altar when I'm doing a group, an in-person group. I like to have my feather smudger, my rattle, and my medicine bundle in the middle of the table, or in the middle of the floor, and just to represent all directions and that. Everyone uses it differently, and there was a fella recently that said to me he uses it to cut. He puts like one feather on a stick and he cuts it like a knife, cuts the energy like a knife. So if you feel like you have attachments, now I'm not talking about cord, like family cord attachments. I'm talking about like attachments as in like someone attaching their energy to your energy. You could use it that way as well, but you could use the full smudger for that. So that's a bit about the feather smudger. I hope you have a great day. Bye.